Welcome to another Gillian Anderson inspired tutorial, this time featuring a Details magazine cover she did in 1998. And what you're seeing now is I'm just getting my skin ready and using my fancy Victoria Beckham shimmery cream and grabbing my Makeup Forever Flash Palette, specifically that silver color. And that's what I'm going to use for my base color. Switching to some glasses I'm not worried about getting too dirty. I'm going to start and show you the brushes that I'll use for my base products, and taking my spatula, scooping up a whole bunch of that silver cream and putting it onto a spatula so that I can access it. Tin Man chic is what I'm going for here, and what I believe I say at that point. So yeah, I mentioned the brushes earlier. They're all synthetic brushes, and they're mostly on the affordable end of things. You saw some Eco Tools and some just kind of off-brand ones. Basically, using cream colors, it's best to stick with synthetic brushes. It'll make it easier to clean it out afterwards. So I struggled a little bit getting the cream to go on evenly, so I bring you this news that it is much easier to use your fingers with this right now, and that's what I'm showing you. So I did that side my fingers and that side without, so it's a little bit patchy. So I just went all over, especially focusing on the center part of my face, as I demonstrate there thusly. The center of the face to be the most prominent, and focusing more of the product will make it more opaque. So I went back to the flash palette to take the green color. I'm just kind of outlining where the eyeshadow is going to go. I decided to put down this green color underneath because I was a bit worried that my green eyeshadow wouldn't blend well on top of the silver cream. So this will make sure that you can still see the green color through all of this silver gunk. Just going under my lash line and through my crease, and then on the inner corner of the eye and down the nose. Essentially what I'm trying to do here with the green is, yes, to highlight and kind of accent, but also to mimic some of the green highlights coming from what I'm assuming are kind of colored studio lights on the actual magazine cover. Now, to continue working on the eye, I'm going to fill in with more of the silver cream using a Eco Tools concealer brush, and that means all around the eye. And you can see there, adding that second layer starts to make it more opaque and I think look a lot better. Now, when I first bought this Makeup Forever Flash Palette, which is well over 5 or 6 years ago now, I was so freaked out because it is quite expensive. But since then, I have used it, I think, every single Halloween and any time in between that I'm doing some kind of fun character makeup. Definitely got my money's worth. Now, as you can see, I held up a silver eyeshadow from Joe Fresh, and I'm taking just a big fluffy brush and using that silver eyeshadow to set all of the cream around my eyes. And I keep looking over to my right to look at the cover. So there it is in all its glory. There you go, getting even a closer look there. Using it as a reference photo, which is important to always keep looking back and forth to hopefully get the details right. The details. Okay, just taking a black eyeliner and putting it all through the waterline on the top and the bottom of my lashes. This is an Urban Decay one. It's very black, and I used to wear eyeliner like this all the time in middle school when I was a little more rock and roll. Speaking of rock and roll, there she is. She's so beautiful. That's the Kat Von D Divine Eyeshadow Palette. And I am taking the green from that eyeshadow palette, as I mentioned before, to go over that green cream shadow or green cream makeup. So anywhere I've put that, I go back over it with the green. And then I'm taking a teeny bit of the darker blue in that palette to kind of tone down the warmth on that green color. The green cream makeup has quite a bit of yellow in it, and the reference photo has more bluey green tones. Well, I'm just flying through all the different greenish eyeshadows and just layering them up. Whoop! Good catch, Vita. And basically I'm going to just be layering and blending all these different shadows on top of the green areas, let's call them. Taking a small angled brush and the black eyeshadow from that Divine palette, I'm just taking it in a thin line across the top of my lashes and then in the inner corner. Whatever is kind of left on my brush, I'm then taking through my brows. This isn't a super big brow look, but I'm just using that black shadow to kind of define the shape a little bit. Gillian's eyebrows are a little bit closer together than mine are, which makes sense with her bone structure. So I started the beginning of my brows a little closer in than mine are naturally. I'm going to be coming back later to my eyeliner. This isn't a big eyeliner look. However, the little there is quite important. You see the inner corner is quite pointed and cat-like. So taking some mascara, a little bit on the top and bottom, not a lot. Also running through the brows. And I didn't even curl my lashes because this is just not a lash look. And going back, as I said I would, with some black gel eyeliner to really define the inner corner and make it sharp and pointy and kind of extend it in towards my nose. The black gel liner is much more pigmented than the shadow. So just as I put the silver eyeshadow on my eyes to set the cream, I'm going to do the same all over my face. And I'm taking a Beauty Blender knockoff to do that a little bit more efficiently, but using the exact same eyeshadow. Next, a Topshop Beauty product, a silver eyeliner that I'm using to really, or at least try to define my nose and make it as thin as Gillian Anderson's. And I'm also bringing that down towards my mouth, and then realized, hey, I might as well line my whole lips with it because it's more efficient than using that cream product. I feel like the lipstick I put on later will go over this much better. Returning to that palette you saw me use earlier and pointing out that iridescent greenish blue color, this is what I'm going to use to put on the highlight that is coming from, as I mentioned, the kind of studio lighting. You see it hitting her face just underneath the eyes, almost like tears. Oh. And then I'm going to put it just in other highlighty spots, in addition to all over that green eyeshadow, because I like the kind of shift and iridescence that it gives it. Oh, look at that. That's a photo from inside the magazine where the makeup artist took just what appears to be pure blue and green pigments and used them, maybe even like kind of toss them onto the face for that amazing shot. The makeup artist on this shoot is named Joanne Gare, and she's from New Zealand and is quite a prolific body painter in addition to being a makeup artist. And turns out she is responsible for, I think, one of my favorite Madonna makeup looks from her video for the song Rain. Look her up, she's amazing. So I'm just taking a teeny tiny bit of black eyeshadow on a little brush, and I dusted it off on my hand to remove any excess. And I'm using that to darken and define the nose a bit more, as once I put more layers of the cream shadow on, I found that the contour wasn't as effective. So on my lips, I'm using a Kat Von D liquid lipstick, which I got in a Buns trade. Actually, that Divine palette is the very first Kat Von D product I actually bought during the Sephora sale. Now, there's this other shot that Joanne Gare did the makeup for on the inside of the magazine, more of like a glamour alien look. It's really pretty with kind of some light blue around the eyes. Maybe I'll try to do that in another video. There it is. There she is. Ooh. Now, I hadn't planned on doing this, but decided to take a contour brush and go into that black eyeshadow, again dusting off any excess, and giving myself some cheekbones and going under the jawline a little bit too. I think it was the right thing to do, as my face shape is quite different from Gillian Anderson's, and just kind of blurring the edges with more of that silver eyeshadow. Oh my gosh, we're almost done, yay! Quickly putting some black eyeliner around my lips to define them a bit more, but more importantly, we get to use this incredible Pat McGrath product. Look at that, look at that cosmic gloss. This is going off book a little bit because it's obviously just a clear gloss on the lips, but I mean, I've got this, why not use it? Ooh. And speaking of, this monster Pat McGrath palette, I'm gonna take this incredible shimmering green. As you can see, it's a little bit darker than the greens we've been using, but I'm into that. It'll give a bit more definition to the eye socket there. I'm basically just blurring that all over all the other eyeshadows for a bit more edge. Now finally you'll get to see why I've been squinting and going out of focus and not being able to see, because I decided to put in these blue colored contacts. Oh my god! They're just sample lenses, so they don't have my prescription in them. But there it is. Now we're like twins. Can you believe it? Ugh, it was worth the wait till the end of the video, huh? Yeah. I'm gonna just glide my face around the screen for a while so you can see the full effect. But boy, I can remember having this magazine cover up on my wall when I was a kid, when I was like 13 or 14, which is ridiculous because it's a men's magazine. And I mean, men's magazines, are they even a thing anymore? Leave me a comment. Tell me if they are. So what I'm doing now is actually taking a bit of translucent powder, because I was finding, after taking some photos, that the silver cream with the silver eyeshadow on top was actually like too metallic. So I'm trying to kick back a bit of that sheen. But, you know, there it is. It's not perfect. I'm not a professional body painter. It's a little patchy, but it's my interpretation, and I had fun doing it. Happy Halloween!